Okay, so overlook my hair because it looks horrible today. But anyway, okay, so I just washed my face. These are what our cleansers look like. We have two. This is the Quench Cleanse, and then we have the Dream Clean. I use Dream Clean because I have oily skin. Quench Cleanse is for usually for dry or more mature skin. Dream Clean seems to work for everybody else better because it keeps your skin from being too oily or too dry. And then I take my moisturizer, which is my Calm Balm. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it just takes a couple of pumps, and then you want to put it on your face. And it smells really good because all of our products are natural. There's no chemicals, parabens, dyes, perfumes, any of that in any of our products. So that's always a plus, is that way you're not putting chemicals onto your skin that will seep into your skin. But you always want to make sure that your face is good and hydrated before you apply makeup to it. Alright, and this is our First Base Primer Spray. You just shake it up really good, and then just a few little sprays. It smells really good when you put it on, and it feels good, like it cools your skin. So, and I don't know what's in it to make it do that, but it does. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys before I do any applications of any kind. This is the Shinto one. I know Nicola was asking about colors. This is the Shinto one, and you can see that it is more yellow. So if you have yellow undertones where you tan very easily, don't really burn at all, don't really have redness, you know, as far as not the basic redness that most people have in their skin, but as far as redness after you've been in the sun, then these are the colors you're going to need, are the Shintos. And to give you perspective, they are, you know how normally like CoverGirl, Revlon, that kind of stuff, you go and look at it and it's like olive whatever, or they have porcelain and ivory and beige and all of that, but then they have olive colors. Well, your Shintos in Limelight are more of your olive skin tones. More people who tan, which is what we normally consider olive. So that is your Shinto one. This is the next shade up, which is the Shinto 2. And depending on how dark your skin is, would determine which shade you would need. And basically what you're doing when you do your foundation is, stuck my finger in it, whoops, is you want to try to match your neck more so than anything. Because like my skin is very red, like I have a natural redness. I always have since I was a kid. My daughter actually has it too, my oldest. My baby girl has olive skin tone, God bless her. I don't know where she got it from, but my oldest has this red, pale, vampire looking stuff going on. So, and I don't know if you could tell, but these shades are not that different. So, if you went with the Shinto 2 and you thought, that might be a little dark, just back off a little bit with the amount of product that you're using, and it will be better for you. Alrighty. Heaven spelled backwards. Here is the Ivory. And it's pretty light, but it actually matches my skin perfectly. If for some reason I've had a little bit of sun or something like that, then I can use the Step Up, which is the Gina Beige. But I cannot use the Gina Beige on its own. I have to mix it with the Ivory because of the way that it's colored. It just does not work on my skin. And you may find, you know, as y'all try this or whatever, you may find that it's better for you to mix as well, which we do have some new foundation shades coming out. They just haven't told us when they're coming out yet. They're going to be more of the in-between colors. This is an Olive, which is very similar to the Gina Beige. This is supposed to be a step up from that, but they're almost interchangeable. The olive, the Gina Beige, the olive 1, and the olive 2. There's not a lot of difference in those 3 colors. And then I wanted to show Avery the MB5. Because I know sometimes on a screen or in a book or whatever, things look different. So, I apologize, y'all. It's been a bad day for me. I've not felt well at all. But this is the MB5. So, it's really not super dark either. And again, it does not take a lot of any of these shades to get the coverage that you need and the even skin tone. So, if for some reason any of these shades were a little bit darker than you thought, or a little bit lighter, you either go up a little bit on the amount you're using or scale down a little bit on the amount you're using. There's really no right or wrong as far as that goes. You just want to be careful. You don't want to cake it on, because if you cake it on, then you're not going to like it because it's going to be too thick and heavy. Alright. Now, I've done my primer. I've done my moisturizer. I'm just dipping this. As y'all can tell, I'm almost out of foundation. So I was just dipping my brush in there, just getting a little bit on there. And I'm going to do one side and show you the difference that this foundation makes. And then we'll do one side and you'll see everything. And I apologize for not looking in the camera the whole time. I kind of have to look above it in the mirror sometimes. And this product is very movable. Like, so if you thought, oh my gosh, I got too much on my brush. Or, you know, your blender sponge or whatever it is that you use to apply your makeup. Please don't use your fingertips. Please don't use your fingertips. That is not a good applicator for makeup. Especially this kind. And I just pull it all the way out to my hairline and onto my neck. And it's okay for you to make fun of the way I talk. Most people who talk to me do. It's okay. I'm country and I know it. And it doesn't bother me. Okay. So I want you guys to see. You can see the redness on this side where I've not done anything. You can see how uneven my skin tone is and all of that. But then look at this side. It looks freaking flawless. This is the most awesome makeup I have ever used in my life. And then once I started adding in the skincare with it, my skin just got better and better every single time. And it is just, it's amazing. It's like the skincare heals your skin, and then the makeup just enhances what's naturally there and how beautiful it naturally is. Because let's just face it, ladies, none of us think that we're beautiful all of the time. But I can honestly tell you that when I put on this makeup and I get my face completely done, I feel good about how I look in this stuff and how good it does for me. Okay, these are the concealer shades. This is Concealer Zero that you can tell I use all the time. But I'm going to use concealer number 2 on, I have some blemishes right here, and they drive me bananas. I don't know why I can't get rid of them, but I'm going to pull it up a little bit too onto that redness and try to even that out a little more. It takes very, very little of the foundation and the concealer. And by the way, please don't use the foundation as a concealer. That's not what it's for. If you do that, it's going to get cakey. It's going to go into every line and crease on your face, and you're not going to like it. This product is not made to do that way. If you need to conceal a blemish or something like that, then you want to get a concealer to do that. Alright, and then I'm going to put the Concealer Zero, which is my highlighting concealer, under my eye to just brighten it up a little bit. And you always want to do a triangle. Pull it down, because if you just go straight across, then that's all that anybody's going to see. They're not going to pay attention to the rest. So you want to bring it down and make it in more of a triangle so that it pulls all the view away from any bags or anything that you may have under your eye. And I always bring it up above too to do, it's a eyeshadow primer as well. And that will help your eyeshadow stay in place and not crease as much. Because let's face it, down here in the South, this still feels like summertime. And yes, it is the middle of October and it's still 90-something degrees every afternoon. I'm just going to tell y'all, I don't like it. Sometimes I wish I lived up north. But anyway, the humidity is horrible and it wreaks havoc on my skin. And especially on my makeup. But since I've learned to do this and I put primer on and I do my finishing spray and my powder, I don't have anything to worry about. It stays all day long. No matter how much I sweat, no matter, you know, if I get out in the rain, whatever, it stays. So, these are our blushes. These, and then that peachy color right there. And then we have the bronzer and the pressed powder. I love this stuff. And I have to tell y'all, I was not a makeup wearer. Like, every now and then I would put makeup on. My friends that I went to school with are like astonished that I sell this stuff. They're like, Samantha, really? You and makeup? But I'm telling you, I love it. So I'm going to go with this number 4 right here, which is kind of a light peachy pink. And we're just going to put a little bit on. And that's a little more than I needed. So I'm going to take my powder brush and buff it out. Okay. And then I always stop right here. You know, normally my whole face is done. Not just half of it. But I always stop here. I do my finishing spray. Let that dry for a second. I take a little bit of our pressed powder, which looks white, but it is translucent. It does not go on your skin white. So you won't even see it on there. And then I buff it around